Hi, Mrs. Payne's class. I hope you guys are doing okay. We are going to keep reading our book. Where we left off was they were at the Italian restaurant and to celebrate the win, and Melody can't get inside yet because of her wheelchair. I'd be glad to help you carry her up the steps, he offered. No, I tapped. My eyes begged Mom. Mom told him, just hold the door for us, young man. We'll be fine. He did just that. Mom turned her back to the stairs, got a good grip on my chair, tilted it back slightly, and took a deep breath. I was so glad we had decided on the manual chair this morning. Mom gently rolled the back wheels up the edge of the first stone step. Pull, roll up, bump, first step. Pull, roll up, bump, second step. Pull, roll up, bump, third step. She paused and took another breath. We'd done this before many times. Pull, roll up, bump, fourth step. Pull, roll up, bump, fifth step. Then we finally rolled into the dining room, which was crowded with noisy, laughing customers. Over here, Melody, Mr. Deming called us as he saw us. Mom led me over to our very large table, and I was relieved to see that the group had left a spot for me. With all the kids on the team, plus their parents, we took up a big chunk of the table space in the place. In some restaurants, the tables were too low for my chair, but this time I was able to slide perfectly into place. Mom helped me take off my coat, then sat in the seat next to me. She gulped the water from her glass and asked for a refill. The waitress began to take orders. Rodney and his parents ordered a large mushroom and onion pizza. We're vegetarians, Rodney explained. I had no idea. Can I get a steak, Dad? Connor asked. His dad clapped him on the back. Sure, I think I'll have one myself. For this one night, you get anything you want. Connor's eyes got large. A whole chocolate cake? You'll barf, boy, his dad replied. I want the pasta delight, Rose told the waitress, with extra cheese. Me too, said Amanda. May I have the spaghetti and meatballs, please? Elena asked. Claire and Molly both ordered lasagna. When the waitress got to me and Mom, I was ready. I'll have mac and cheese, please, I made Elvira say. The waitress looked a little surprised since most of the machine was tucked under the table, but she was cool and acted as if she had gotten orders from Meditalkers every day. Sure, hun, coming right up. You want some salad with that? No, thanks. She gave me a real big smile, then took Mom's order. Only my mom would order baked fish at an Italian restaurant. As we waited for our food, the cheerful mood continued. Our tables were covered with white paper instead of tablecloths, so everybody, including the adults, had been given crayons and markers. Look at this. I drew a giant monster rabbit, Connor said. He glanced at Rose's drawing, then added large green teeth to his own. And it's going to eat that wimpy bug you just drew, he told her. Rose laughed. Well, this is a poisonous spider, and it's going to bite your silly old rabbit. Rodney and Connor then lined up all the salt and pepper shakers and started tossing sugar packets over the barricade with forks and spoons as catapults. But I noticed that Claire, who was sitting next to Rodney, was strangely quiet and didn't even pick up a crayon. Engage the enemy, Connor cried. Score! You weren't even in my territory, man. Besides, you tossed the pink fake sugar stuff. You only get half a point for that stuff. I sat and watched my teammates do such ordinary things, drawing, laughing, teasing, joking. I really tried hard to look like I was having fun too, but all I wanted to do was go home. When the waitress finally brought the food, forks became important for eating, and the war ended suddenly. Conversation slowed down as everybody dug into their meals. Connor took a huge bite of his steak. This is the bomb, he said with his mouth full. Mom's fish looked a little, fishy, as she picked at it with her fork. She and I were thinking the same thing, I knew. My food sat untouched in front of me. Our family goes out to restaurants every once in a while. Actually, Penny is more of a problem in a restaurant than I am because she's wiggly and excitable and she's likely to throw her peas on the floor. Usually eating out doesn't bother me. Mom and Dad take turns spooning food into my mouth, and I ignore anyone who is rude enough to stare. But this was different. At school, I eat in a special area of the cafeteria with the other disabled kids. The aides put bibs on us, feed us, and wipe our mouths when we're done. With the exception of that sip of Coke at the competition, nobody on the team had ever really seen me eat, rather be fed. I didn't know what to do. My food sat there getting cold. I looked at Mom. She looked at me. She picked up the spoon and looked at me with a question on her face. I nodded. Very carefully, she placed a spoonful of pasta in my mouth. I swallowed. I did not spill. I saw Molly poke Claire, and they exchanged looks. Mom spooned one more portion into my mouth. I swallowed. I did not spill. We continued one spoonful at a time. I was so hungry. Nobody said anything, but I saw them look down at their plates with way too much attention. It got quiet. Even Connor stopped talking. Finally, even though my plate was still full, I pushed it away. Would you like to take this home, Melody? Mom whispered. I nodded yes, hugely relieved, and she signaled for the waitress, who also brought dessert menus. Being reminded of cake and ice cream cheered up Connor, who did not order a whole chocolate cake, but did order 2 slices. Rodney ordered apple pie, while Rose asked for pudding. Claire ended up taking her food home in a box as well. She had eaten almost nothing and barely said 2 words all evening. So, what did you think about that final question? That was too hard, Rodney said. Piece of cake, Connor replied, laughing at his own joke. He smeared whipped cream over his second piece of cake. Did you see the hair on that announcer? Amanda teased. It never moved. Must have been made of plastic, Rose said, laughing. What are you wearing to the DC competition? Rose asked Claire. Claire just shrugged. I wonder if we'll get to visit the White House while we're there, Amanda mused. That would be awesome. I believe it's on our agenda for Saturday, Mr. Deming replied enthusiastically. I'm excited about that as well. So, what's with you and Melody being best friends, Claire? Elena asked. Claire didn't answer, but she rubbed her hand over her forehead. I don't feel so good, she said weakly. Is it hot in here? No one had had time to answer, for at that moment Claire stood up suddenly, clamped her hand over her mouth, and stumbled from her seat. Are you okay? Mr. Deming asked. Before he could finish the question, Claire threw up all over his new shoes. Oh, gross, Connor said, obviously trying not to laugh. Poor thing, Rose said. Whoa, what a stink, man. Rodney covered his nose. Claire's mom rushed her to the bathroom. Mr. Deming rushed out as well, I guess to clean off his shoes. I wondered if Claire felt as embarrassed as I had while Mom was feeding me. Our little victory celebration was clearly over. Parents gathered coats and checks and paid their tabs. Claire returned from the restroom looking pale. No one mentioned the incident. We all headed for the steps. I thought. Claire gets sick in the middle of a crowded restaurant, yet I'm the one everybody looks at sideways. They all had to wait for me and Mom. We took our time. Push, gently, roll down, bump, top step. Push, gently, roll down, bump, next step. Push, gently, roll down, bump, third step. 5 bumps down to the bottom of the steps, and I was still so hungry. The next morning, Mom bounded into my room holding a newspaper. Good morning, my rock star, she greets me. Guess what? Rock star? She's tripping. I turn to look at her. My face says, what? You're famous, huh? She gets me out of bed, straps me into my chair, unplugs the Metatalker from the charger, and hooks me up. Then she places the morning paper on top of it. There I sat, plastered on the front page of the newspaper, in color. Wow, I type. The article is all about the team winning the competition, but yours is the only picture they used. Interesting. Why me? Mom smiles quickly. Because you are unique and wonderful and lots more interesting than ordinary 5th graders, I guess, she says. The whole article seems to be focused on you. Team kids won't like that, I type. I'm sure they'll be happy for you, sweetheart. No, they won't. Here, listen to this. She reads me the article. Spalding Street Elementary's talented academic team of 5th and 6th graders won the local Whiz Kids quiz competition last night by the score of 86 to 85. With stunning skill and knowledge, they answered questions far above their grade level to defeat 7 other teams. Makes us sound smart, I tap. And so you are, Mom replies. Math questions make me sweat. I get clammy under the arms just thinking about them. Mom continues, ooh, here's the part about you. Alrighty, guys, we're going to stop there. We'll see you next time. Take care.